Hello. Let's see what you need to hear. Seven of Wands in reverse. The Moon, King of Swords, Two of Cups. Ace of Cups. The High Priestess. I think you're making the right call with kind of like slowing down with this resistance, or like putting down a bit of your resistance. It feels like there's this blind trust, not necessarily blind trust, honestly, this very like actual act of faith that's going on in your life right now to essentially not reject your desire for connection. You really are saying, okay, I'm not necessarily going to fight something. I'm not necessarily going to push to make something work that doesn't need to work. But it feels like your mind is more clear when you do this, when you're like, this almost feels like benefit of the doubt. And it feels like you're energetically kind of aware and also getting ready to not fight something from occurring. I feel like in some sort of way, you haven't been ready to show up in your relationships and in your connections and potentially to someone new. That's in parenthesis. Like this, I feel like this is the energy of like there's some sort of circumstance that's going to be occurring in your life where you're going to allow something to happen because your intuition is gonna take off. Your intuition is gonna be like, let's not resist this. That's gonna be a very smart move on your front. The Devil and the Page of Cups. Sometimes, we make some standards or some rules, and this feels like some sort of rule that you've made up that unless I'm offered these words, unless it's done in this way, unless they say this to me, then I'll extend my forgiveness. And before you jump on your, argumentative side of what should be forgiven and what should not, essentially, if you're wanting to foster relationships in a certain aligned way, you're going to have to make ends meet and end meets with energies that are keeping you in a form of resistance. The idea of somebody fighting for us does not necessarily make them the right person. So don't trick yourself. I see you distancing yourself from what just feels emotional distraction. Stop waiting for the past to apologize to you, so you can have enough of a reason to let it go. Some things ahead way better than what you think should be resolved in the past. And this is like you not staying in the past. That just opens up your future. But you've got to leave the version of yourself that's like bent on almost kind of like, a very primal, immature way of dealing with this. Let's go on to the next one, because apparently we have to talk about you beating yourself over. What happened? This is some decision to distance yourself. It's like you keep wanting people or just the past to say, hey, no, wait. It's almost like you're looking for a good enough reason to move forward. And we have to be real, maybe by some point up until now you haven't been ready to let go and you've been making excuses on why you should be sticking around in your past. Not wanting to be over it, not being through with whatever has happened. That's changing. It's coming to an end. The world, the sun. You've been beating yourself over some things that are giving you a reason to justify some false sense of control over what has happened in your life. The universe is screaming like the more you open space right now, the more you're gonna honestly be grateful for what's about to occur to you. So can you find it in you right now to just accept your circumstances of where you are and open up yourself to an alternative that maybe feels a bit scary to do so? Queen of Swords, the Hangman. It's this sort of acceptance to mediate, and that you don't need this specific apology to you don't need the apology to make you feel like it's settled. It's almost like having the last say, or letting go of having the need to have the last say into something. Is it because you don't want to be the one who abandons? You don't want to be the one who also gives up, and you're overly extending your time in a situation where you just don't want to feel like the one who's giving up? You choose what you want to keep in your life. Nobody, at the end of the day, nobody's going to judge you. But if you decide to keep something in your life because it means something to you and it's really important to you, let bad things go and keep it, Nobody's going to say anything. Even if they do, it won't matter because you've made peace with it. So come to the point where you either embrace it and you're willing to grow and you see it as a good thing. And if you're not willing to let it go, but you're still calling something in, you just want retribution. That's not going to make you feel as better or good as you think. Knight of Wands, Three of Cups, Six of Wands. At the end of the day, is meeting yourself back up with that sense of that makes you feel good, sparked up, and accomplished, and feel nice. And whatever aligns with that, embrace it. Embrace it. There's so many